What's up, my guys? We're going to take a look at my N64 today. So I actually took out my N64 hat and shirt for this, but I've been wanting to do this for a while. It's nothing too major, I just want to go over all the AV options available for the N64 in North America, so don't expect anything too special. And also, I'm not going to be modding my N64 at all with RGB or HDMI. This is pretty much the N64 from my childhood, so if you want me to mod it, you can go fuck yourself. So like I just said, we're going to be looking at the North American options for this, so this would be US and Canada and Mexico. The North American unit uses NTSC just like the Japanese unit, and there are 3 different options you can use. You can use the standard composite video cable and stereo RCA. This cable was the same style that was used on the Super Nintendo, and then later the N64 for the standard AV connection. That's also most likely the standard cable that most people using the N64 at the time would have had. It's still possible that someone back then might have still had an older RF style TV that did not have composite yet. So what you would need is one of these adapters. Nintendo basically released an adapter that hooked them to the standard AV out port that was used on the N64, Super Nintendo, and later the GameCube. And let it Basically what it does is it adapts the RCA style connection that was used on the AV cable that was used on the RF cable that came with the Nintendo Entertainment System and the Super Nintendo. Those 2 systems had their own RCA port that would connect and let you go out through RF through composite. Those 2 consoles actually have their own dedicated RCA port that would let you use this directly. The N64 does not have an RCA port for RF, so you need this little modulator right here. At the moment of this, I am most certain you could find these at certain stores for only like $2-3 possibly if you go looking for them. I haven't double checked. They still are probably dirt cheap. And the third and final option for a stock Nintendo 64 from North America is the S-Video cables. This also uses the standard AV out port for the Nintendo consoles of the era, but instead of the composite cable, you have an S-Video cable. For those of you that don't know, S-Video is basically composite, except for the Luma and Chroma signals on it are separated into 2 different channels and then grounded. So you have a 4-pin DIMM connection on this cable. Those being the 3 cable types, unfortunately I do not have access to a television that does all 3 of these at the moment. So what I'll be doing is showing off the RF and the composite on a standard consumer television, and then the composite and then the S-Video on a PVM or professional video monitor. Technically I did have a CRT that does all 3 of those connection types, but recently I've had hernia surgery, so I cannot lift anything that heavy at the moment. Might help if I get a controller also. And I might as well show that the N64 has literally one AV port that handles all the needs of it outputting video and audio. The RF adapter snugly fits in there, letting you switch between channel 3 and 4. You then plug the RCA cable for the adapter in. Off camera I screwed in the coaxial that the RF adapter uses, so we should be able to see it. Ah yes, RF static. Make sure it's on channel 3. Okay, I was worried for a second. It looks like my 1 pair of RF adapter and my 1 pair of cable is actually bad. Luckily I had a second pair. Also, it looks like it's a little fuzzy. Now you may notice I'm using an EverDrive for this. For those that don't know, the EverDrive is a high-end flash cart. If you're going to get a flash cart for N64, definitely invest in one of these. Do not get one of those shitty, cheap, all-in-one, like 200 games in one carts. Those are poorly made. This will do all that and more. Let you play homebrews, unreleased games, prototypes that are available, ROM hacks, all that. You can do this. You won't have to worry about slowly shorting out your unit either. So let's take a look at this. It does look like that's running in a high resolution mode, so it's cut off a little bit on the screen. And actually the RF doesn't look too bad on this unit. Trinitrons usually have a higher quality of video, so I'm not surprised on that. Let's show you Pilotlings a little bit, and I'll switch over to composite. I'll just zoom in a second to kind of show the screen a little bit better, and we'll use this part as comparison. Now the best part of this is it's an analog signal that pretty much outputs it, so I should be able to just swap out the cable live without having to worry about anything. Side note before I swap these, this is mono audio on this television, so I only have one audio channel. And there we have it, Composite now. Now I'm going to say this now, it definitely looks better. Although Composite is not the best video signal, and even at the time the N64's launch, was it not the best video signal available even in that mid-90s term. This is definitely good looking. Anybody in the 90s who had this would definitely have enjoyed it. Okay, now that we have an idea what RF and Composite both look like, I'm going to swap out this consumer grade CRT for a Trinitron of a professional value. Here we have one of my PVMs. Side note, if you do plug an N64 to one of these, they use BNC, so you need a BNC to RCA adapter. I have one. These are rather cheap actually. You can get like about 10 of them for 10 bucks online on Amazon or eBay. Now, although this is using the same kind of video connection as the consumer set was using, even though it's composite, it will look much sharper on a PVM because it has more scan lines. So we'll take a look at Pilot Wings again. I also do own Pilot Wings. This is not just a bootleg ROM. I happen to have a physical copy buried away. Okay, so let's get going. Okay, I landed on one foot. And like before, I'm going to swap over from Composite to S-Video so that we have a direct comparison with the screen. Okay, we're officially swapped over to S-Video now. So I'll do this course one more time. Hopefully you can notice the difference a little bit on the select screen itself, but everything is a lot crisper and clearer. Oh man, that one I didn't land as good as the other ones. Well, there you have it, everybody. There's a basic overview of all the AV options available for the N64 in North America, so the US, Canada, and Mexico. Those are the three options you pretty much got. Now, it is possible now to mod the consoles, but doing an HDMI mod involves actually pulling up some pins and soldering directly to the main board, and that is not something I'm going to use for my original console, or at least the closest I have to it. So guys, let me know what you think down below. Message me on Twitter. Let me know what you think about this video, if it helped you understand a little bit more about the N64 and AV out, if you want me to do some follow-up videos or any similar videos, or maybe go in a little more depth. So until next time, I hope everybody stays safe out there, and I'll see you again soon. Bye. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you watching to the end. If you would, give me a like, subscribe if you're interested in seeing more videos, and then in the comments, tell me what you liked, what you didn't like. I'm definitely open to a positive and critical feedback, and I hope to see you guys all again soon. Take care.